Sorry, I'll unmute. Let me start again. Welcome back, everybody, to the reconvening of the evening public comment session of the Board of County Commissioners for July 21st, 2020. And this evening, I'll just do a little clarification for those that may be wishing to do public comment. If you wish to do public comment, there will be an icon to raise your virtual hand. I will hand this over to our moderator to begin, and we'll be giving each person 3 minutes. In the case of that we don't have enough time to hear everybody, we may need to reduce the time allotted for each person, or try to select people randomly. We haven't had that problem recently, and hopefully we will be able to hear everybody who wishes to speak to us tonight. So at this point, I will hand it to our moderator.
Thank you, Chair Buck. At this time, I do show one person has signed up for public comment, Gabriel Scott. If you would like to speak at public comment, can you raise your virtual hand? Actually, I'm just going to unmute you, and I will start the timer and you can begin your public comment. 1 moment. It looks like you are self-muted, Mr. Scott. So if you'd like to unmute yourself, and I will start the timer and you may begin public comment.
Okay, I'm here now?
Yes, you are.
Thanks very much. Yeah, thanks. I just heard about this meeting, so I signed up late. Thanks for accommodating that. I'm here, my name is Gabriel Scott. I'm an attorney here in town. I live at 2535 Van Buren is my address. Live with my wife and kids, and love it here. I'm here to comment in support of the winter strategies, particular for the unhoused population. You guys listened to a long presentation about that. I just read the document. It's awesome. A bunch of great ideas in there. So, you know, I won't restate that. You understand there's some great work been done, a lot that huge demand. It's just going to be a matter of how much can we get done, but I really urge you to give it a top priority. This is something that we can't afford, but we really cannot afford not to meet this need. And so with that, I'll just say, you know, I urge you to give that full funding, give it full consideration. It's really excellent work, and thanks for accommodating the public comment so late.
Thank you for your public comment. I do show that we have had one more person join. Heather Salicki has joined the meeting. Heather, I will unmute your microphone and reset the timer. And once the timer begins, you may start your public comment. I do show you're self-muted at this time, Heather.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm
yes,
Heather Salicki. Thank you. I'm Heather Salicki, and I'm speaking today on in support of the winter weather strategies presentation that you had earlier today. Whitebird recognizes the importance of different options for different types of people who depend on our support, and we need solutions as diverse as the people we're trying to help. One size does not fit all. Our CAHOOTS model is successful because we have appropriate community resources to match the individual to their needs. So we really need to have this housing and shelter. Safe legal options for unhoused people are necessary for us to be able to provide the community support resources. We have medical, dental, drug, alcohol, and treatment, counseling and crisis, but our unsheltered clients are 50% more likely to miss an appointment to receive services due to the unpredictability of their living situation. So we strongly need to have some stable housing foundations in place and sufficient supportive staffing to ensure that everyone who's in these solutions and their surrounding communities are kept safe. So thank you for considering funding those options and making them available for our community for this winter.
Thank you for your public comment. Chair Buck, at this time, I do not show that there are any additional people signed up for public comments, so I will turn the meeting back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for our two speakers. And we will move on to Commissioner's response and remonstrance. Would anybody like to speak? I'll just start out again. Thank you for coming on this late. I know that we only had two people, but we know how important our inclement weather strategy report is to our community at large, even if they are unable to join us this evening. It's going to be difficult for me to not say winter strategies and instead of say inclement weather strategies, knowing that we are in wildfire season and there could be other weather items that come our way. I'm in full support of Soraya Johnson's report that she presented to us earlier today. And I know that there are probably even more strategies we have not thought of, dreamt of, and we need to be thinking outside the box. And whenever any opportunity is presented to us, it's important for us to look thoroughly in order to respond to our community. Would anybody else like to speak? Commissioner Sorensen and then Commissioner Farr.
Can you hear me okay? Yep. I just want to thank the people that came in for the public comment this evening. And yes, the board did hear an extensive presentation today. Ms. Johnson and others did a great job in describing it. As Chair Buck just mentioned, she's in favor of pursuing all those strategies. So am I. And I'm really glad that we're broadening it beyond winter strategies, because for years I've talked about how the different types of weather affect people, and our climate is getting much hotter in the summer and much colder in the winter, and that is creating more challenges for homeless people. And the coming recession, if we already haven't had a recession, we'll have a greater recession, will probably produce more people without homes. So it's really important that we work on it. And I appreciate the people taking the time to take advantage of our evening public comment. And even if there's just two people, I think it was worth it. Thank you.
Commissioner Farr.
Thank you, Chair Buck. Heather, if you're still here, I just wanted to remind you that the Shelter Stakeholder Committee, subcommittee of the Poverty and Homelessness Board, will be meeting at 2 o'clock on Thursday this week. I believe you're on the contact list. If not, I'll make certain that the contact for your attendance, virtual attendance is sent to you. So some new strategy involved and a new membership. You'll be interested to see the membership. Look forward to seeing you and hearing you there, Heather. Thank you.
Mr. Bernie.
Well, it's good to end the day with all the public input, wanting us to support something that Gabriel and Heather, I assure you, I think you can tell we do. I think that if we had more resources, we would be able to do more, and we have a staff at the county that is out there aggressively pursuing whatever they can under these troubled circumstances. I would simply like to say that usually I'm used to strategies being things that lead to goals. And I'm looking forward to the strategies to shelter people that are the most needy. I'm looking forward to discussing the kind of goals of a true full employment economy where we look at what constitutes a good job. And part of that are feelings that I hear many in the mental health community discuss when they're discussing mental health. A feeling of security, a feeling of belongingness, a feeling of meaning, a feeling of contributing to something bigger than yourself, and a feeling that you receive dignity and respect for the work you are doing. So it's really been interesting for me to hear about in this official government capacity all these groups and committees that really are overarching and trying to make things happen, and juxtapose that to the Great Depression, because I think we're in sort of a great reckoning of sorts. And in the Great Depression, there were things called Hoovervilles. And Hoovervilles were makeshift communities where there weren't so many rules and regulations that the homeless just built and generated for themselves and ended up democratizing and running and managing. So I think that there are some similarities. But anyway, totally support, appreciate the public input. I know that with this group of commissioners in this community, these strategies will lead to goals. I know those goals will engender action, and I'm delighted to participate in a supportive way in how I write them. Thank you.
Any other comment or remonstrance for this evening? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Our meeting for today is adjourned.